So good afternoon. This video I will tackle about speaking skills. So speaking skills is an act of making vocal sounds to converse or expressing one's thoughts and feelings in language. And also, it is a speak open implies conveying information. It may be from informal remark to a scholarly presentation to a formal address. So speaking skills is a skills that give us the ability to communicate effectively, and these skills allow the speaker to convey his message in a passionate, truthful, and convincing manner. So speaking skills also help to assure that one won't be misunderstood by those who are listening. So, um, Roger Love, he has a quote that all speaking is public speaking, whether it's to one person or 1,000. Is what he said. So, what are speaking skills? So, speaking skills consist of verbal, vocal, visual. So, verbal, it composed of words spoken. So, vocal is composed of tone, range, appeal, credibility of voice, while visual is physical appearance, gestures, and eye contact. So, speaking skills consist of three parts: why to speak, what to speak, how to speak. So, why to speak? Not just presentation but also persuasion. So, get people's mind share. So, the origin of the point is where the audience was. So, the persuasion is a center of the speaker, or the point is where you lock them. So, what to speak? So, you must use the four categories. The first is a brainstorming. The second is speaking must have a speaking format. So, three is aiming to persuasion. Four is a perfect clarity of thought. So, brainstorming. So, brainstorming is a process of you getting your ideas out on paper. So, speaking must have a checking format such as introduction, body, and conclusion. So, the aiming of the persuasion is being confident and passionate is the key for persuasion. So, for the um, how to speak is you must have used the four stars. The situation, the task, the attitude, and the result. So, three is of speaking entertainingly, effectively, enthusiastically. So, entertainingly is diverting how used to entertain or to amuse your audience. So, the effectively is it is a manner as to achieve or desired of the result. So the enthusiastically is the way how you show the intense, the eager enjoyment or the interest of your audience. So description of speaking skills. So it has three kinds of speaking skills: the interactive, the partially interactive, and non-interactive. So interactive, it is include the face-to-face conversation and telephone calls in which we are alternately listening and speaking, and in which we have a chance to ask for clarification, repetition on slower speech from our conversation partner. So, while the partially interactive, um, it refers such as when you giving a speech to a live audience where the convention is that the audience does not interrupt the speech, then the speaker nevertheless can see the audience and judge from the expression on their faces and body language whether or not or he or she is being understood. while the non-interactive, it is a pure speaking situation. It is for example, when you are recording in the television, in the radio broadcast, it is a non-interactive. So what to do before speaking? So the the step the first step of speaking is to think, and the first step is to perfect speaking is to think positive. So good speaker have the ability to quickly analyze and observe the information given to them. So assess it fast and to make a decision and communicate that decision to other. So the first is be an active listener. So it is the key towards making you a person who can take who can think on the spot and respond intelligently is to be an active listener. So it means listening carefully and giving your attention to the words, the tone, the emotion, and the logic behind what the other one is saying. So number 2, be a quick organizer of thoughts. So from the word quick organizer of thoughts, all of us have the ability to think fast. The trick is to adapt some framework or models to structures new information into something coherent that we can respond with. One One can break down issues or ideas into past, present, or in the future. So, structure your speech in your mind. So, these are useful frameworks to organize ideas and thoughts quickly. So, the basic structures of any speech involves opening, body conclusion. It is very useful to delivering speeches and especially for speaking in situations such as table topics, during meetings, or other times when called upon uh, to say some words or thinking before speaking is important for us to add value in terms of communicating our thoughts, ideas, and feelings. So we can touch lives through deeds and we can touch life through speech. So, speaking skills. These are the some speaking skills. So, first is be prepared and practice. Know your audience. Pay attention to your old key ISS principles. Interact to your audience. Speak with sincerity and fashion. Close your speech in a memorable way. So, be prepared and practice. So, the more you know what you want to say, the better you get at. You get. So, is the first brainstorming topic of the speech and research. If you need to write down all points you want to make and then organize them into an outline. So, know your audience. So, the better you know your audience or listener, the easier it will be to connect to them as you speak. When you are able to make that connection, you will hold their attention. So, pay attention to your old key ISS principle. So, pay attention to the old principle that keeps it short and simple. So, when you are speaking, don't beat around the bush or try to impress with complex metaphors, stories. However, we can be a powerful public speaking tool, especially when they contain at least a hint or humor, but again, keep them short and point to leave a lasting impression with the audience about one's topic. Then be sure that you are true to yourself and to your topic as well. So don't be afraid to inject enthusiasm and fashion in the speak as well. So number 6, close your speech in a memorable way. So give your audience something to think about as you finish up your speech. So certainly it it is a good idea to summarize your main points one more time, but then finish up with an inspiring story or quote, or leave them with a thought-provoking questions. So number 7 is fluency. So the fluency, it means goal is to remember that one don't have to know many complex grammatically structures to achieve that goal. So first of all, try to speak as fluent as possible, even making some grammar mistakes. Then after making one's speaking fluent, one can focus on grammar aspects. So, speaking skills required in meeting. So, first is talk to the entire group. Second, reach out and encourage feedback. 3, mirror the tenor of the meeting. 4 is don't be a time hog. So, talk to the entire group. So, when speaking in groups, moves your eyes around and talk to anyone who's listening to what you have to say. Then, when responding to a questions, address the entire group, not just the person who asked the questions. So, to reach out and encourage feedback. So, actively encourage and comment and feedback based on what you have to contribute. So, mirror the tenor of the meeting. So, another, it is refers to the business meeting. Basically, it is establishing a comfortable atmosphere where everyone feels at ease. One effective way to achieve that is to establish a consistency in communication. If, for instance, most participants are keeping their remark short, and do the same. If their tone is low and reserved, follow their lead. So, don't be time hog. So, be true, but don't take much time to get your message across that you lose other attention. So, micro skills of speaking. So, the speaker has to pronounce the distinctive sounds of the language clearly enough so that people can distinguish them. So, this includes making the tonal distinction. So, use the correct forms of the words. This means, for example, changes in the tense, case, or gender. So, put words together in the correct word order. Then, use the language that is appropriate to the situation. Make the main ideas or information. That's all for micro skills of speaking. So, the barriers while speaking. So, unclear messages, lack of consistency in the communication process, incomplete sentences, not understanding the receiver, words can have different meanings to different listener, use negative words. So, how to improve speaking skills? So, it has 9 how to improve your speaking skills. First, practice where you can, when you can. So, any practice is a good whether you speak to someone who is a native English speaker. So, it's important to build your confidence. If possible, use simple English sentence that you know is to correct so that you can concentrate on getting your message across. So try to experiment with the English you know. So use words and phrases you know in new situation. So try not to translate into and from your own language. So you can often get close to what people think by looking at their body language, then respond to them in a natural way. So if you forget a word, do what native English speaker do all the time. Um, um, This is better than keeping completely silent. Try using another words if you forget the word. So 7, don't speak too fast. So it's important to use natural rhythm when you speak English, but if you speak too fast, it will be difficult for people to understand you. So try to relax when you speak. You'll find your mouth does of the pronunciation work for you. So when you speak English at normal speed, you will discover that many of the pronunciation skills such as linking between words will happen automatically. So remember when speaking English, try to become less hesitant and more confident. So try to become no, don't be shy to speak the more you do it. So the more confident you become, remember to be polite. Use please, thank you if you ask someone to do something for you. And that's all. Thank you.